reality that I don't accept.
We're live. It's Behind the Counter here on a Thursday, special Behind the Counter episode this week. So we're getting things ready to go here. September 1st. I always consider the 1st of September fall starts. It's fall.
When is the official start of fall?
Isn't it like September 20th or something?
Yeah. So it's not. There's
But
kind of
in my what do you want to call that? What type of calendar do they call that?
It's like a Gregorian calendar?
Yeah, we'll call it that. Whatever calendar that is, in my head, fall starts September 1st. And, you know, it's no longer summer for me. I'm done with summer.
It's still going to be hot off and on.
Once school starts
It
back
is
up,
finally
that's
starting to cool off.
No, it was cool last night. The windows at my place got opened up and some fresh air finally. I'm starting to breathe out all the dog air from the dog that's been suffocating me for 3
Is it
months.
dog
inside.
air or dog hair?
No. You have the dog hair, but then right now I'm like stuffy everywhere I go. I don't know what it is. I've never really had allergies in September. I can only accustom to the dog scents everywhere I go. I am technically kind of somewhat allergic to dogs, and I think just the staleness of the air and being like, I mean, when's the last time fresh air came in here?
From the AC all the time.
But a lot of it's recirculated air. Maybe not this one, because this one, it's just forced air. I don't know. Sometimes when you get to like your own house, sometimes they're recircling the air. You're never really getting fresh air in there.
Pop this gate open for a little bit.
And you kind of have the stain. So, yeah. So I think I consider this to be the first day of fall.
But it's not. September 20th.
It's more like September. Next Wednesday is the 7th, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the start of fall.
And that's the official first day.
That's when school starts up.
But
I'm closer removed from school than y'all are, so.
It's calling us old.
I guess
It's
so.
been about that time.
I only graduated 2 years ago.
That's pretty absurd.
So we got a lot of things to talk about today. First off, we'll update the people on the Mockingbird situation. Last week we talked about the fact that Dan almost got attacked by a Mockingbird 3 times, and I have not noticed him the last couple of days I've been in here. But middle of last week, he did take a dive at me again. And Mike and I walked out of here after was it after the episode?
Mm-hmm.
And we walked by and I showed Mike, and that fucking bird was flip-flopping around from tree to tree.
He was perched on top of this big light, and I walked Ash over to do him because he wasn't coming over, so I was
He had
trying
no
to get his
interest in
attention.
Mike.
So when I started walking back, then he was following me.
No, then when I took Ash, he swooped right down. Remember? I said,
No.
"Look, he's on the." Then he went onto the. Then he landed on the top of the truck. And he was following us down the aisleway.
Maybe you dropped some food or something at some point. He's hoping you drop something again.
He's attacking. They're aggressive birds. I did a lot of research on the mockingbirds. They're aggressive. They're the most bravest birds out there. They're.
Dan's an expert on mockingbirds.
But so we did do some research. I did prove to Mike that the bird was a little out of control. So that was that. Haven't heard much from him lately though.
Yeah, because once I went out there, I scared him away.
Could be. Fantasy football. We'll talk briefly about it for a minute. Last time we had talked about it, the league was at a very sour moment, and
It's still somewhat sour.
It went through separate avenues in different ways, and
Dan relinquished power, and now the league's upon a golden age, pretty much.
But I relinquished power at the time of the. Didn't I already relinquish power at the time of the show last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
You were still in the transitioning of power.
Well, yeah, because I had some. As in any transition of commissioners to commissioners, there's some things that need to be closed out.
He tried to pull a fast one at first, Steve. He tried to put himself as main commish, and then he tried to put Nico as assistant commish. And the league said,
"How would that fly when it says right on the thing, commissioner and assistant commissioner? Anyone can see that."
Okay, but we weren't sure if you were pulling a fast one or something.
No, I was updating the logos and having Tom's new fantasy football logos added onto the thing. But if I made Nico the commissioner, I wouldn't be able to do that.
So he needed to be assistant commish during that process?
I couldn't rotate him. The assistant commissioner doesn't have the right to change league league settings. They can do like they don't have they can't change account settings. Is what they couldn't go in and change the name of the league or anything like that. So I had to wait.
You used to say you were authorized to add those pictures and such.
But that's not how Yahoo looks at it. They don't have a department that
I'm going to
reviews these
discuss with
cases.
Nico. I want a new title photo. One of Nico's face.
I was pretty happy with my draft.
It wasn't good, Steve.
Tyler Nico was here
It
at the
wasn't good.
studio when we did it.
I have no horse in this race.
I'm just
Trying to see if
updating
you
you.
keep your mouth shut over there about fantasy football.
Dan in fantasy
about
football.
football.
Dan in fantasy football is a lot like him in Mario Kart. It stings. So you can understand.
That's something else we can talk about. The Mario Kart League.
What's that?
We do have to touch upon that as well.
I mean, I could if I wanted to.
What are you doing?
Grab my fantasy football title.
You can't just grab any belt and declare the fantasy belt out of nowhere. That belt's been in here for
It could be whatever you want it to
it's
be.
the Wrestling World Federation.
It could be.
belt.
Maybe I'll just go get my own fantasy football belt and I'll start walking
That
around
would be
with that all
fine as
day.
long as it was established.
But I am the goddamn fantasy. First off, this could be noted as, first off, not only am I the fantasy football champ, I am the fantasy god right now. I have won every fantasy competition in this store in the last year.
No one cares about March Madness.
It doesn't matter. It was still a sanctioned, authorized event that the network was part of, that Nico was in charge of, and I won that. So as far as I deem myself,
That's between you and
concerned,
Nico.
I
have no
deem
part.
myself the greatest fantasy player that is known to this store.
You're about
That's
to be
simple.
exposed this year on a lot of fronts, pal.
About what?
Now that you didn't get the draft with Tom and TJ, your team stinks.
That has nothing to do with
It's quite
that.
the drop off.
Not really. I've had plenty stinky years in my league.
It all shows now. It's a classic Dan squad rears its head.
I'm very. I mean, I have some concerns with my league, my team. I was very shocked at how quickly the running back situation unfolded. I wasn't anticipating all the running backs going as quickly as they did.
Taking Mike Evans screwed your team, pal.
Why is that?
He's not that good anymore. Not that good.
Okay.
Could have snagged a running back there. You could have had a lot of running backs there.
Who? I went first.
Oh no, yeah, you did pick.
I could have gone either way. I had to pick one. It just was a nasty
I
situation.
suppose he wasn't bad there then, but Elijah Mitchell.
We'll see how this stuff goes. We've not learned that anything can happen in fantasy football.
Darren Waller, he might not even play for a couple weeks.
Why is that?
He hasn't practiced for a month.
Because he's in the contract negotiations.
That's not why it is.
Well, why
That's
is that?
wishful thinking.
What
He
about
has an
your
injury
guys?
Going on. What about my guys?
I've heard some stories about your guys.
There's no stories to tell.
Oh,
about
there's
my
some
guys.
stories to tell. Didn't one of them have
They're all
some kind of
dripping
issue,
wet.
or he may be out for a couple weeks?
He was hurt at the beginning of training camp, and he played multiple preseason games. There's no concerns there.
I'm happy with my team. And if I have a stinky year, then I have a stinky year. I'm a defending champ. I'm a
Here's the
three-time
coat.
champ. There is absolutely nothing I need to prove in this league. I have won the title 3 times. Not once. Not Tyler's 1. Not Nate's 1. Not Tom's 2. Not Jeremy, Nico, Steph, TJ, all their zeros. I'm a 3-time. That's all that needs to be said. Right, Steve? 3 times.
That's about how we all feel.
No, Steve is speechless. There's no argument. No. As everyone should follow Steve's note, and that there's no argument for what I'm saying. There's nothing to be said back.
Whenever he gets on those kind of rants, I feel exactly how Steve feels. I
What?
feel nothing.
Oh, okay.
As I stated previously, I don't give a fuck about football. I just like watching the chaos.
Also this week, we had the CJ Playmaker Mario Kart League. What a disaster this is. Let me tell you a little
It's
story.
going great.
What?
What do you mean it's disaster? It's going great.
First off,
I
Steve...
haven't heard a whole
First
story
off,
of it
Steve
yet.
couldn't get the goddamn whatever it was to work at the beginning of the episode.
Okay,
the
that-
Skype.
that one is
Disaster.
on me.
Steve gives me this email, and I don't know what he's trying to call me, and I'm getting no calls. So like, okay, I'm just look up Steve. I look up Steve, email everything that pops right up. Steve's head, Steve's big head, and the little icon comes up. I go, this is Steve. So I click on it, call him. Call him again. Then he goes, oh, I have a second email, or I have a second account.
I had an account with my Microsoft, and then I had an account with my email.
But what I was calling you, the one that you provided on the thing, and it didn't work. So now we got off to a very. I had to move where I was sitting. I got very, very out of place. I had everything set up for Skype, and then I said, "Well, I might as well sit on my bed and do it." So I moved over to the bed to sit down and be able to play Mario Kart. And I don't know if I was in the right position or not, but
didn't have a good enough gaming chair.
I don't know if I wanted to play it in a chair though.
Why not?
Come hang out with us in the studio.
Maybe one day.
If you really wanted to, you should plug it into the dock and play it with a Pro controller. That's the true way to play it.
Mm-hmm. Play it on the TV.
Might do better. Might not stink so much.
Oh, I'll be just fine.
You're going to have the whole setup right on this table, and it'd be great.
So let's talk about the ins and outs of the CJ Mir.
I'm interested.
First, So then we go through. We get into we pick, and I have no idea if I picked the stuff I told Steve I picked or not. I just picked a generic bike, generic wheels, and generic the hood or flying thing that comes with the kite. Okay, I have no idea if that's what I submitted to the CJ Playmaker Commission or not. But I didn't pick those, and we start. Is there people policing that?
No.
That is a good
I
point.
gave him the basic stuff, and I told him that you're running the basic stuff.
So
it's not like a big deal.
So I log in, get in, and then it comes to the point of picking the track. Okay, so then I go, I just assumed that CJ was going to pick the track for everyone.
Everyone gets a vote on it, right?
Yeah.
But no. But the thing is that the tracks are pre-selected, so everyone's got to select a track. Well, now you have the pressure of quick finding the track to put it on there before his team knows exactly what I'm talking about. So now it comes up where you got to pick your track, right? And I got like 10 seconds to find the track that I got to find.
And there's
right?
a lot of
So then
tracks.
I'm picking up my phone and I'm looking. Steve sent me the pictures of the tracks the first time out of order.
No,
So-
I sent them in
no.
order.
The first one you sent out of order. So you sent to like the second 2 days. And then the first day, and then like the last two. So I'm looking at that, and I'm going, okay, that's not the picture that's on there. So then I think, was it my track that got selected?
No.
It was someone else. So someone else didn't have the track selected. So the whole thing stopped. They had to redo it. I'm like, oh boy, I can't have this drama. So I said to Steve, can you get me the and then he sends me the right one. So now the race
So
ends.
Dan made you guys all have to fresh.
No, it wasn't me. But so now I get the right ones in front of me, right? So now it comes back to that. So I picked the first one. First race is over. Second race comes up. Countdown's on. You got like 10 seconds. I'm looking at Rainbow Road. I gotta go through each one to find the Rainbow Road one, and then you hear the sound goes beep, beep. And I'm quick. I don't want to be the one that gets the wrong one up there, and then that gets selected, and holy hell breaks out. And then, like, this is
Last season, it's happened in the last race of the Cup.
in the holy hell. So then I get a situation where the fourth race is a track I don't have, and Steve's like, "Well, you're playing with me. You should be on there." They're not on there. Whatever the ones that I couldn't get them. You'll have to I'll bring my Switch in. You can look. There's like 2 of them that I did not have whatsoever.
If you're playing with if someone in your friends list has the Mario Kart DLC, you can access that online only.
But I don't know how it wasn't on just the general tracks.
Are you friends
No,
with
it's,
Steve on the Switch?
I'm friends with Steve.
You gotta hit the R button and it brings up an entire new set of tracks.
There's more?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
There's the.
Well, I know that part. But there's a lot of stress in getting the right track. That's almost
Dan
more
didn't wanna
stressful
look
than the
dumb.
race itself is getting the goddamn track selected. Can you imagine that stress on the fourth
I
race?
remember
You
most of the
picked
maps
wrong
by
track,
now.
And then there's one I did pick the wrong track.
Yeah.
I forget which one it was.
It was like it was a Mario circuit.
Right, and I picked the wrong one. And I go, and everyone else had that, like, oh no, this is, and then it ended up didn't fall on me, luckily. And I was like, holy moly. I go, there's more
Sweating
stress
it
in
out.
that than doing the race.
A lot of people just remember where they are off of once they hear it, they know where to go. So that's something you got to work on, pal.
And the politics of the racetrack are just. First, I'm not worried about Steve. Not worried about Steve. The true guy on the go-kart race right now is CJ the Playmaker.
He is leading points. Right
He must have been playing those courses over and over and over and over and over again
He did
for a
set
couple
the
of months because he is like Like every point he can get, he has.
Yeah, there's a
And
message from
Steve
CJ
is
the Playmaker.
flabbergasted by it as well.
He said that his season never stopped. As soon as the season ended, he practiced.
He practiced okay. He's definitely winning.
He did send a response to that. If you want my official word on Dan coming after me on Monday, I rewatched the stream and his response. I honestly saw him twice. I was too busy trying to make sure I didn't get murked as hard as I do on Thursdays.
Did we have a show after the Mario Kart?
No.
When did I say something?
It was during the Mario Kart stream.
Oh, you were coming at him right during it.
Steve made an official comment, or CJ made an official comment.
Yep.
Pretty much saying not concerned.
So of course, in true fashion,
Things.
and of course, in true fashion, after the race was over, Dave did a couple ones. I won 2 of them. Like what is the chances? Like it's bullshit. And CJ got like dead last.
Yeah, that's how it goes. No one was trying anymore.
Yeah.
They already put all their effort.
And
into
one,
it.
what was it? Who's the girl that starts with an A? Always dead last.
She's doing fine. It's their first season.
Yeah, but she's dropping bombs on me. We're in the back, right? Okay, she passes me for last. So now I'm last. And she's way up on the court. And I always saw her in like the 9th or the 12th range. I'm just like, oh boy. And I was battling with her the whole night with the politics and stuff. And she was way up on the court. And she felt the need to drop a bomb back on me. And I was dead last. And it hit me. I was so pissed. I almost threw my... I'm like, are you fucking serious? And she felt the need to drop a bomb back on me. And I'm in the middle of nowhere, way in the back, dead last. I couldn't believe it.
She was securing that 11th spot.
You hate to see it.
Or how many? 12 people on that?
Or 11 of us.
11. I was in 11th
Securing
place.
that 10th spot.
I was like...
Would you have done the same, though?
No, I would have sent it forward.
Was it near the end?
No, it was in the middle of the race.
Was there blocks that they were trying to get fresh items?
I don't know what it is, but
Sometimes
it's
people
very,
whip them out
It's a very,
before
I learned it's a very dirty game. A lot of people I didn't get around at all.
They may have been trying to get
Substania, I was never around. I was never around CJ Playmaker. I was around Steve a little bit. I was around Dave a lot. I purposely, if you go back, I'm not on recording, but maybe you can see Steve. I personally went after Steve a few times.
Oh, I know.
He got a few things that I hit him with 3 red shells in a row, and I laughed my ass off while I sent each one.
And I'm still ahead of you in points.
You are. I got some practice to do.
He did take you out that one time.
I did offer to the group chat of the 2 of you and Dave, like, hey, do you want to practice?
No response.
Yeah.
That was
Shoulder.
absurd. I saw. I was like, apologize for that, Dan.
Right.
He asked you guys if you wanted to practice Mario Kart, you and Dave, and you both gave him the stone cold.
What?
Steve asked you and Dave if you wanted to practice Mario Kart one night, and you guys both completely
You
ignored
said it in
him.
the group text. Well, Mike was in there too.
Yeah, but I'm not in the league.
I offered you as well if you want to play.
But I thought it was just a general anyone wanted to play. I don't
thought
think
it
I was
a
available
league
at the
practice thing.
time. I think Mike needs to get into the league next season.
I think so.
I'm going to push for both Mike and Tom to get into the league next season.
We'll see. We'll see.
Mario Kart's a great game.
It is pretty fun. I haven't played in a while. Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
But it's cutthroat, I've learned. Even Dave was trying to screw me over a few times.
Who?
Dave. Well, it doesn't matter. Everyone just goes after everybody.
Yep.
I mean, I'm putting it on the center of the table.
Leave the ball now.
Everyone's going for everyone. It's absolutely brutal.
That's how it should be, an all-out free-for-all.
The first season it was teams of 2. And
So does that mean you guys couldn't hit each other, or did you just accumulate points?
we accumulated points.
But how can you not hit them?
Oh, you can hit them.
Oh, I mean, I say that'd
Pretty
be
much
too much
it's like-
work trying to make sure you don't hit a teammate, in my opinion.
So it's like NASCAR, kind of.
Yeah,
Where
it worked fine. I
teams
finished
race
second.
together, but they also backstab once in a while. It can happen.
Made sure Dave got his 1 win of the season. That was great. That's still a clip somewhere.
Dave won during the actual or after it?
It was the first season.
Okay. I thought he was one during this one. I was like, God.
Not yet.
I am intrigued. I'm very interested in it. Now I'm determined to get ready. I was not prepared for the first one. It took me a while to get used to the first race. I was trying to get used to the things again with drifting. I didn't do enough warm up as I should.
But now, you learned.
But now I feel like, and I do think I'm going to move over to the Danny NASCAR set, and I'm going to pop it onto my monitor and actually have the Pro controller. I think I'm using the actual.
It's not bad to do it like that. Are you turning with the motion controls?
No,
they don't have motion, do they? Yikes!
You do motion controls.
They suck.
So those Switch controllers are the motion ones too.
Yeah.
By the way, I got the OLED one too. Pretty fucking wet. I'm not gonna say that screen is pretty nice. I got the white ones. I love the white sides.
Yeah, it's
fantastic.
A nice one.
It's a shame that's gonna go when I'm done with the Mario Kart League.
That's why I told you to get that one. Because so we can sell it here after and be.
Actually, we'll probably keep it. We'll get rid of the Animal Crossing one.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of a reasonable thing to do. I kind of like the white, but the Animal Crossing one is a true classic. It's gonna be a collectible. Oh, there's 1 million of them at Target, Dan.
Do they still have a lot of them?
There were 1 million at Walmart when I went.
The Animal Crossing one stinks.
No, it's just they made too many of them.
It stinks.
So that was that. But I don't know. I feel like my performance on the first one was average. I was mid-tier. I had a couple. I didn't have any top twos. Very disappointed. I had a third. I had too many dead last. I got last like 3 times. And I got last and I got fucked in like the last straightaway or the last turn with people getting like stuck. When you get hit once, you get hit like 8 times.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if you get one red shell and it blocks you, then you get hit by a star guy, then you get hit by a mushroom guy, DK comes and flattens you out, and it's just you get hit with about 10 of them.
You'll get put all the way to last.
The key to Mario Kart is to not get hit with anything. And to stay away from the back of the pack. Because nothing good happens in the back of the pack. It's like I'm battling with that girl the whole night. Nothing good happens in the back of the pack.
There was one race I remember very clearly. It was like one of the snow tracks that we were coming to the line.
I think I did good in that one.
And I hopped over you just before the line.
I'm sure you did, Steve.
I'll have to find it. It was great. But you hung up on me. What the fuck?
Did you hear that call?
Yeah.
But see, I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle trying to get the track selected. That's more stress than racing.
We were between the.
Steve's calling me, and I'm trying to find a track to make sure that I don't screw the whole thing up.
So didn't you just say shut your mouth and hang up?
I said, shut your mouth, Steve. I'm trying to race.
Wow.
Absurd.
So out of all 11 people, what place is Dan at right now in points?
7th, 8th?
Let's see.
6,
Probably more
I
like
think,
9
actually.
or 10.
Are you 6?
I'm second. Here we go. You are 8th.
8. Yikes.
11 points ahead of Dave.
Where do I stand? Like, who's ahead of me?
Me, CJ, Amp, Sus, Locust, Cheesecake Ghoul, and Keybug.
They're all ahead of me?
Yes.
Got some work to do.
Sitting at a nice 179 points.
Outrageous.
How much does Dan have in comparison?
Almost 100 less.
So it's over already.
Oh, there's still
You're
2 more
done.
weeks.
It's a monumental amount of points to try to catch up from.
First off, I'm not in this for a one-season run. I'll definitely do it again next season. I gotta get used to the.
You might be ousted due to poor performance.
No, I will get myself in the top 4 by the end of the season. It may be a ruthless battle, and I may have to take some people out in the process, but I'll get myself up to a top 4.
I just want the win. If I can get the championship, that'd be a second, a first, and a first.
Is there anything on the line for the championship?
Is this the third
Just
season?
bragging rights?
So the first season was doubles.
Yep.
Right? And then who won that one?
Sustaina won it. I finished second.
In the doubles?
Yeah, in the first season. It's regular points and then team points. It was very convoluted.
Oh. So who won the second one?
I did.
So you won both seasons.
I got second in the first season.
Oh, that's right. So seeing it. Well, see, but I don't think you're winning this one.
It's still early. I have
How many
3
points you
points.
have?
151. I am 28 points behind.
If people were smart in the league, they team up and then knock CJ Playmaker. Am I wrong?
I think that's what's going to end up happening.
If CJ gets such a head lead, you need to start. People need to start using their stuff out of strategy and start like if you have red shells. I'm not after Steve. I'm gonna save my red shell for CJ when I see him. That was the other thing I wasn't doing either. I wasn't hatching on the banana behind me the whole race either. Wait till that starts coming back on. When I hatch on the red shell and the green shell behind me, so I can't get hit with anything.
Everyone does that.
I wasn't doing it.
So you were just taking them on the
So I was
chin?
taking things up the ass on that one.
Whoa!
Well, that's what it is. Basically, the bananas shoot right at you from behind. Or the
Not
red
really,
shell.
actually. I'd say the shells shoot, the bananas stay still. Gee, wow, Dan.
Hey, what else we got? So that was. I think that one was good. I think I could have. I was aiming for like 5th, but 8th. I mean, I'll have to live with. How many points does 5th place have?
5th place has 116.
What am I at?
82. We're looking at 15 points per race. And then it's up maximum is 60 per cup.
I got myself a big battle to handle.
Just like fantasy. You got buried right
Not
at the
concerned.
beginning. Just like you're going to go Owen this year, pal.
Not concerned.
If you look at it this way, you're closer to 5th than I am to 1st.
Yeah, what else we got?
At the GFuel. Is it time for that yet, or is it still too early?
I think it's time.
Alright, so we're at the gaming. So we started this last week, and
I cleaned it.
let's try the Tetris first. Nope. I can't have anything. I can't have any residue.
Okay, we gotta talk
impacting
about the
this.
flavors we got here. We got Tetris Blast GFuel, Tetris flavor.
A nice.
Oh, I already like this one.
Then we got Wumpa Fruit, Crash Bandicoot's fruit.
I had one of these on Tuesday.
Then we have Ninja. Dan is super excited to try it. This is actually my personal favorite so far. The Blevins in a can.
I'm pretty excited to try the Crash Bandicoot one.
It's perfect. Can't beat it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Do you actually? Oh, you drank it all.
It's perfect. Nothing wrong with it.
No, you want the rest of it?
Nope.
Okay.
I might.
That's a perfect drink. I don't want to have it. Just like Ninja and streaming, it's perfect.
Did you like it, Steve?
It's okay.
No, he's appalled with my comment.
Yeah.
I say this is my favorite one. So.
It's perfect. Nothing wrong with it. Let me have the Tetris.
It reminds me of the cotton candy,
Ice cream.
that and when you go to like a pediatric dentist, they have the cotton candy thing that you use instead of like.
I mean, pediatric. They still have that for the regular ones.
Which is next? Tetris?
I request the cotton candy gum.
You're
gel.
talking about dork.
What is this?
This one is Tetris Blast. Smells good.
It smells like NyQuil already.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, it's true. Awful.
Actually, it does smell a little bit like NyQuil.
It could be a mix with
Ugh.
cotton candy.
Woo! That's awful. Ninja's perfect.
Actually, that's pretty good.
It tastes like NyQuil.
That's actually might be my new favorite.
It tastes
It's
like
at least number 2.
like a Smarties.
Which one?
This.
No, NyQuil. It's NyQuil, Steve. You can't put any spin
Not
on it.
NyQuil.
Next one.
This one I'm excited about because I haven't tried
Which
it
one's
yet.
this one? Tetris?
No,
Crash
we just
Bandicoot.
Wait, did we already?
we
do
just
this one?
had Tetris.
Didn't we do Crash?
No, we didn't try Crash yet.
We did Sonic.
Sonic Blast.
Steve has his. What's the grin? Steve's grinning
I'm
over there.
excited to try this one. I haven't tried this.
Oh, you haven't tried this one at all yet?
I've tried the powder version, but
I like to smell them first.
the powder version was a like apple pear kind of thing.
They're all very clear, like water.
Ugh,
I haven't seen any colored ones yet.
that's disgusting.
Okay, let's see. It's okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's bad. I wouldn't say disgusting like Dan. but-
No, it's disgusting.
I put it ahead of Ninja, but not as far.
Ninja's
as...
perfect. No discussion.
You didn't like the ninja at all?
I liked it. I just like this better.
Biased opinion over there.
I also don't like ninjas.
Exactly. Biased opinion.
You just take his face off of it, and it's a pretty good
Still
drink.
very sweet. A little too sweet.
I think it's the Cotton Candy Ninja one. End of story.
So out of all the ones you've tried of these, that one's your favorite so far?
Oh yeah.
Is that one you would buy on your own?
No, I wouldn't buy any of my own.
Dan's not an energy drink guy. You're going to have all that if you want.
So let's talk about another development that came across my desk the other day. Boater is an author.
I mean, I haven't heard of it, but it doesn't surprise me if he writes.
Did you see the
scripts
cover
and
of the
does all
book? He has a
movies.
whole book and
I
everything.
didn't see that real
Like,
quick.
is this news to me or something? Like, I guess I didn't know about this.
He mentioned it a few times, like a few months ago, but it's good to see that he's actually fully published it. It will be officially out in the coming months.
I mean, he has. I'm pulling it out.
I would definitely get a copy of it.
Oh, me too.
Is it in the Star Wars universe? I think I saw.
No, it's
Right there.
a separate thing.
How we stop the destroyers.
I thought it said Star Destroyers when I saw that one
Well,
quick.
he can't. That'd be copyright infringement to have it at all.
Well, people are
related
allowed
Star
to
Wars.
write fan books. They just can't make money off it, I would think.
I mean, he has a book. I don't know if I could read a boater book.
Why not?
Because here's what's going to happen if I read a boater book. If I read it, I'm going to question things. And I'm going to say, why is this? Why is that? What? And I don't think Boater can handle my questions. He can't handle my Gundam
A little
questions.
more Tetris Blast.
What kind of questions? It's the questions are in a pile behind you.
What?
He still hasn't heard about that, by the way.
Who?
Justine.
Oh, he heard about it.
Did he?
Oh, he heard about it. I'll get to that in a second.
All right.
But I don't think I could read a boater book. I feel like after every chapter I would have like 10 questions for Andrew. And I don't think he can handle my questions coming back.
As an author, you should be prepared to answer such questions.
I don't know.
November 1st is when it comes out.
Unless it's something that's supposed
I
to
mean,
be a
that's a
mystery.
pretty seriously look at that. He wrote all of that. How many pages is this book?
I don't know.
Did you read his first book?
No, not yet.
But you said he had another one.
He had published works online first.
But not a book. This is a fucking book, Steve.
Yeah.
This is like you go to the bookstore and you buy it. That's a lot of work.
So are you going to be able to go to like Barnes and Nobles and buy it?
He's selling it at the the Northshire bookstore in Saratoga.
Pretty cool.
I mean, we're gonna have to buy it.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to buy 3 copies, and then we're gonna have to do a book report on the episode. I'm dead serious. I mean,
book
like,
report.
it's a fucking book.
I'm not doing a book report. It's
Steve.
in school.
If we have to do a book report, we'll do a book report.
MLA style for
Actually,
Sources
I
and
don't
all.
remember how we did. I think we seriously should do a book report on like the first 2 chapters. That'd be hilarious to see what everyone's book report is.
Sucked at English.
I don't think
could
book-
barely
I would
speak it.
destroy you too.
In a book report?
I was absurd at English. Science, not so much.
What was
but-
required of a book report? It's not much to get destroyed on. You're writing a summary of the book.
Well, you can't even spell, so I'm not concerned.
That's what they call spell check. Right? And it's got to be handwritten.
Okay, but it's
book reports have to be handwritten.
okay.
No
they weren't
computer.
when I was-
So no spell check then.
And I guess I'll have to make sure I don't have any spelling
I'll
errors.
type it up on there first, and then I'll copy it in hand after.
I'll grab my trusty, rusty old typewriter and
No typewriter. That'd be handwritten book report.
I guess so we'll have to.
Fuck the book report back in the
You're
day.
gonna have Boater make a couple questions to see if we understand, and he can grade our
No,
responses to the
no.
questions.
No questions from Boater. Boater
He's
can-
the most qualified.
But he's gonna see the book reports, but he can't He can't have any.
What is just a book report?
Because
Normally
I may throw some questions in my book report that I don't know if he'd be able to handle if I don't understand
We
something.
need to. No
Is there like a
handwritten, because
directive to it, or
We should all do book reports and give it to Boater to grade, but have it be anonymous.
I think he'd be able to tell who's. He's gonna be able to tell.
he'll probably be able to tell?
He's gonna read my sarcastic comments in there, and he's gonna know exactly who it is.
He's gonna
Because
see.
I will question things like, "What is this?
He's gonna say,
Why is the ship doing that? Why is I'll ask the serious questions." But I do think we should do a book report on it. I think we should each read the first chapter.
So what's the directive of the book report, though?
We'll figure that out as the book when the
Are
book
we
comes
just
out.
summarizing what we read, or
Well, yeah.
there has to be questions?
But I don't. How can if we don't read the book? How do we know what questions to ask?
Well, yeah,
Have Boater give us the questions.
it's like a thing you answer when you're done. He gives it to you when you're done reading, and we come in and we take a test.
Yeah.
I like this idea of a book report. Well, maybe we'll have to get Boater involved. He's got to type up the questions of the book report.
Say only he can know for certain what the correct answers would be.
How long are these chapters, though?
No one knows yet. It's not
I
out
mean,
yet.
are we talking? Is there like 4 chapters out of 400 page? I don't know if I want to read 100 pages.
There's at least
So you're gonna
11
start it, but you're not
chapters.
gonna finish the book. If you go through all that, you gotta at least read the whole book.
Do you read the whole book? Is that everything you do?
If it's good,
I haven't read a whole book since high
I'd
school.
assume it is.
I don't even read full comic books. I don't read comic books in general, but I
It's
don't.
been
I don't even read the full texts when people send them to me. I skim through.
I will admit it's been some time since I've read a whole book all the way through.
And I have a funny feeling that this book is going to be like 800 pages.
I'll ask him. I'll ask him right now.
Get a live response from Boater on it.
What are you messaging, man?
Facebook?
What does it matter?
Because I'm wondering, I think Facebook is relatively quick on getting back. Not that he's not on anything, but I mean, just saying. And tell him we're doing a book report. How we stop the destroyers? So I take it the destroyers are going to be the villains. Now, are they ships or they're? So no, okay, let's try to guess from the title. Right, ready? I kind of like this idea because
No, this isn't bad.
no one knows what the book's about, right? You know what it's about, Steve?
I know he published a little bit of it on Reddit.
So you already have inside information.
I'm reading a little bit of it right now.
Okay, so
Read it to us, Steve.
based off. No. Let's try to figure out the book by judging the cover. Okay.
Isn't that like the ultimate what you're not supposed to
I know that. How we stop the destroyers? I would say the destroyers. Now, is it destroyers ships or is it destroyers people?
All right, let me see the cover again real quick.
It's all ship related, I think.
I would say that those are some sort of enemy that are coming to Earth to destroy it, and that they're trying to stop that from happening.
So it's a pilot book.
Based off of that thing.
So
Maybe.
So the only way you could stop destroyer ships is to be flying another ship. So I bet you it's a pilot.
Possible. Or you could launch something into space.
I think it's a pilot book. How close are we, Steve?
The destroyers are a different race.
So they're people.
Mike is right. No, he said a different race, so
People!
Aliens.
Yeah.
Okay, but nonetheless, they're not. The destroyers aren't being called a ship. They're being called some kind of life form.
He's not referring to the ship.
So I was basically right.
No, you weren't.
What? I said that.
Wait, what was? Now you're gonna change it.
I said, the first question is, what are the destroyers? Are destroyers ships or are destroyers some kind of living thing?
And you didn't.
I think they're a living thing.
Okay.
They're not a ship. But then I said, if they are ships, the whole book is gonna be about pilots and flying.
Okay, you were more so on that pilot thing.
But yeah, but that's not.
But he didn't confirm that it's about a pilot yet.
It's about.
My general thing was I said it's probably aliens or a different thing coming down to destroy Earth, which I was correct. Now is their pilots, so Dan can be correct.
I read a little bit of this. My appetite's been whetted enough for the whole book now. I'm very excited to read the book.
Is it a pilot book?
Stop
You'll
with the
have to
smirk,
read it.
Steve, and answer the questions.
I'll have to read it.
Can you give there like is there like a brief statement that you can provide to us in the book?
It's a crew.
Shit.
What?
It's a crew.
Dan was
So the
right.
book's about a crew on a ship.
All right, so it's about space battles. That's
Looks
cool.
like it.
So I was partly right.
That's what we were trying to get to here.
I mean, I kind of threw out two different things. I'm pretty much saying I'm both right on both of them.
I don't think so, pal.
So the book is about
Steve
a crew
is
on a
very
boat.
smirky. What smut is this boater book?
Trying to read the first paragraph.
We never know. We never really know what Steve was looking at
Okay.
that computer
It looks
over
pretty
there.
good.
He's always on
I
the
have
computer. I was appalled when I found out one day that he was playing a game. Remember what game was he? Wasn't he playing a game one day? Pinball or something?
He might have
or-
showed me one of them. What was the one where it's the guy running and it turns like this?
Oh, Ron.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it.
But
So can you give us some inside information? What else?
No, it's
So it's about a crew on a ship,
that accidentally bring about the destroyers.
and they bring the destroyers in.
So it's their fault. You just ruined the plot of the story, Steve.
You'll have to read the rest. I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm gonna go play Ron.
Either way, Boder made a book, and I would say that's a pretty sick-looking cover.
It is really cool.
I mean, like, did he design that?
Yes.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Always stop at destroyers. Now, is he buying copies of this himself?
Yeah, he's doing advanced runs for Northshire.
I'll have to go
And
in.
he's financing this whole operation?
Well, he's buying a few books for like
Northshire.
people to read at Northshire before having all the books come out. So that people.
Oh,
know
they're
what
not for
talking
sale
about.
there first.
Yeah, not yet.
Say I wanted a limited edition signed Boater copy of this book.
I would expect the same as well. To be hand delivered to my office.
It's a little bit too much right there.
Mark me down as intrigued though. I will definitely
I'm
read
intrigued
it.
to read it. I didn't realize he was
An
making a book.
inside look at the mind of the Botorious one.
He should have his name Boder on it.
It could have been a good author name. They normally write under different names.
He could have had written by Boder. And no one will know what it is or who it is.
Maybe he wants him to know.
What do they call that? The rush of trying to figure out who the author is. A secret name.
The pen name.
A pen name, exactly.
No. What would your pen name be, Dan, if you
Who?
had one? This will be good. Do you have one, Steve, while Dan's thinking?
I have to go with Icarus. Because Dude Icarus.
I would just say the only one that really comes to my name would be Danny Raindrops.
You can't have a pen name with your name right in
What do
it.
you mean?
No, I guess actors do that. They sometimes keep
Danny
their
Raindrops.
first
You have
name.
no idea who it is. And okay, let me see. And you wouldn't pick up a book by the author Danny Raindrops?
Yeah, but that's...
You would 100% pick
that
up
is-
a book with Danny Raindrops as the author's name.
something
Raindrops? Is that really
I'm
his
uniquely
name?
interested in.
And I would, you know how they do the whole thing about the author in the beginning? I would make it seem like that's my last name, Raindrops.
For the longest time, I thought Nico's last name was that and not actually Rainwater.
Well, you thought his last name was Raindrops?
But no, it was just like that Rainwater wasn't his last name.
Oh,
You thought
okay. You
Rainwater
thought it
was
was
a
a
fake last
fake.
name?
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
is
it's
pretty wet.
It's
It's pretty wet.
I mean, it's a double wet name. I mean,
One would say
rainwater. I mean,
it's a bit redundant.
I
Actually.
mean, but still, I mean, raindrops. I mean,
Actually, isn't
pouring
he
rain.
officially named Dogwater after Jackson busted him up in that 1v1 back in the day? I'm pretty sure that was the stakes on that.
That was the most disappointing Fortnite match I've ever
There's
seen.
only one Rainwater here, and it's Jackson.
Nonetheless, I didn't realize Boda was an author, and it was writing a book of that magnitude. We'll have to do a full book report on it and a full analysis of it.
That'll be good. That'll be funny. The nerd glasses guys can grade them.
Live on stream.
Actually, they should. The nerd glasses should grade them after. But they shouldn't be told. Well, I know what. They may have to be typed up.
No.
Yeah.
So people don't know who's who.
My handwriting is very different from both of yours, I think.
Mine is neat and scratchy.
Mine's okay.
Mine is garbage.
I'd give it a B on neatness.
I had to rewrite several book reports in high school because they were messy.
So this is gonna bring Steve like back and to some traumatic experiences.
That'll be fun.
Comes out what, November 1st?
Yep.
So we should get a few questions from Boder on what this should be answered in the book report based off of chapter. I would have to look at how many pages there are. If like each chapter is like 55 pages, I mean, let's not go crazy here.
Let's do a chapter at a time or something.
We'll do like the first 2 chapters and a book report on that. I mean, we can't do.
Dan, like I don't know how long that's supposed to take me to read that. It could take me a year.
I have a
and all
very
that.
short attention span, and reading books isn't up there.
It's just you haven't found the right book with the tale that incites you. You might have liked Harry Potter now that you've watched the books or movies. Maybe
I did decide today that I was on YouTube for a minute and I came across the Almighty Braun on what's her name? Brienne.
Mm-hmm.
Brienne becoming a knight in Game of Thrones, and you watch Game of Thrones?
No.
And I watched it, and it was a very emotional scene. And she becomes Jaime Lannister, makes her a knight, and I determined I want to go back and watch the whole season the whole show after that.
Hey, you know how touching that scene was?
What?
Right after that, he decides to leave her and go back to his sister to bang
Mike,
her
don't
and
put-
die with her.
Don't put the politics in Game of Thrones.
Okay,
Okay, I'm very intrigued to watch Game of Thrones again.
Is you go and watch that part, and that's exactly what happens.
I know,
after that.
I know exactly what you guys don't like season 8. I think
They
it's one of my
play.
favorite seasons.
I say Brienne is the fan favorite, and then Jaime Lannister for 8 seasons act like he's gonna be with her, and then he just makes her a knight, and he leaves and goes back to his sister and dies for no reason. It's actually very absurd.
It's the way the author decided to do it.
That is true, but that doesn't mean we have to decide to like it.
No, you don't. But you can't be mad at me for saying I do like it.
I think you're just saying it to be a troll.
You don't know.
I don't think you really like it.
I think you guys are being trolled by the fact that you guys have literally spent, Steve, Mike and Tom have probably spent 10 years of their lives talking
that
about
long.
Game of Thrones. Okay,
It's probably like 5
Reddit,
years. 5 years.
articles, debates, everything.
Tom was way deeper than me.
Okay, and then they had one season they didn't like, and like little crybabies, they dethroned the show and never said they'll never watch it again. I mean, I'm talking Star Wars type fandom here, Steve. Okay, that's how crazy these two were. They would sit up and talk about Game of Thrones all night and text back and forth about, I can't believe this, I can't. They would have theories.
He's exaggerating on every part of it.
They would have long, in-depth conversations. And
After an episode, we might have sent a text back to say, "Oh, did you like that episode?"
Tom
Yeah, I
would
did. It
spend
was pretty
hours
nice."
in debates on Reddit talking about Game of Thrones. And
That
and
may be true.
And the backstory. And Mike was right there reading it. Okay? And for them just to
I don't
throw it out
partake in
there.
those kind of arguments online, but Tom does.
It absolutely. They put so much time into this show and then kicked it to the curb. I'm appalled. I'm appalled by
I
it.
can't really think of anything else to like compare that to.
Season 8 wasn't that bad. It had some mistakes, but it wasn't that bad.
It's like I can't compare anything how bad that was. They pretty much betrayed everything, and they just rushed to maybe a few plot points that George Martin had.
They did rush it, and that's unfortunate for them just to get fired from doing Star Wars.
If the journey was longer to where they ended, it might have been a little better, but they just cut out like the whole middle journey to that point.
It was slightly appalling with the way they rushed it, but that's not the point. The point is,
And it's all
that one season didn't ruin the whole idea of the rest of the show.
It's all stupid D&D's fault that David Benioff and D.B. Wise, those guys are fucking nerds. And they wanted to go make their Star Wars money, and they got what they fucking deserved when Disney said, "Nope, you guys fucking stink without source material. You're not getting a Star Wars movie." And now they have to go crawl into Netflix for a job.
What movie were they?
And they don't
Did,
even
did
really
Disney
want
actually
to.
fire them because of what they did with Game of Thrones?
They tried to make it like it was not, but that was exactly what it was.
I think they got so much backlash that from the Game of Thrones fanatics that they said we don't. I actually think there was a meeting that someone said at Disney, we can't have these two guys be the directors because there's a serious chance this movie will get boycotted with how bad they treated Game of Thrones. You don't think someone said that in the meeting? Someone
They
definitely
absolutely
said that.
have a boycott coming their way. Maybe not now, but the fact that they tried to rush out of there to cash in, people were not going to watch whatever they did next.
What movie, Star Wars movie, were they going to put out?
They didn't have it yet. It was an untitled Star Wars project, pretty much. But
The next trilogy.
or a show or something like that.
The next trilogy.
Oh, did they? Did they were going to give them the next
It was
trilogy?
a Star Wars movie that they had.
Yeah. But now they don't get that because they betrayed a beloved IP once and they will never get the chance again.
Good.
So I think Dan is more so leaning now that he doesn't like it and he's being a troll.
No, I'm not.
He's starting to understand what the hate comes from.
I rushed through to watch it the first time, and I want to go through and read it and watch it again. I don't think that's at all.
That being said,
unreasonable.
seasons 1 through 5 are some of the greatest television ever was. Then it was severely downhill after they couldn't copy the books anymore. That's when HBO started taking over and making their own story. Just wasn't as good.
HBO's just trash.
Steve, get down over there. Steve,
And it's not
now.
any-
It's becoming trash now. With they're trying to merge it with Discovery and make it this whole reality type channel now. It's ridiculous.
There was a big fallout with like the animation community about that.
Yeah, the Warner Brothers, they're trying to cut $3 billion from their costs, and they're just they slashed the Batgirl movie. They slashed.
There was a lot of crying about that.
They fired a bunch of people over at where they fire a bunch of people at? What was it? I forget what it is. They fired a bunch of people. And they cut a bunch of jobs, and just are ending shows and not renewing stuff. And
Ultimately, they were greedy and they got what they fucking deserved.
They
They didn't want to pay all the actors to do all.
they pushed
They
all
didn't
the
wanna pay
movies
the
back. They
director.
didn't have enough money to budget all of the movies.
They turned a $3 billion cut turned into $20 billion lost within like a weekend.
It's absolutely crazy. All right, we're over our time, and now we got anything else to go over?
Did you start that House of the Dragon show with
I'm not
Tom?
watching that horse shit.
Why even rewatch it if you're not going to try to build interest for the new show?
I have no interest in House of Dragon.
You know who did start watching it?
Who, Tom? Oh, I'm well
He
aware.
hasn't told me what he thought of it yet.
Of course not. Again, we're back to the fanatic. And Tom has this political
He's secretly
idea.
watching it because he doesn't want people to know probably that he's back on the train.
Deep down, Tom's to go back and rewatch Game of Thrones after this. He may not want to admit it.
He definitely won't watch the last season again. That was painful to watch.
All right, we got anything else to go over?
Nope, that's it for me.
I got nothing.
All right, guys, we'll be back at it. We may do Thursday again next week because Monday's Labor Day,
Oh yeah.
so we'll be closed here.
Are we closed
Well,
completely
no,
on
we'll
Monday?
be closed at like 6, so we won't be here Labor Day. So we'll probably end up doing it. I mean, maybe we'll do the next episode next Thursday again. We'll copy what we're doing this week.
And then House Divided, High Five still going off next Monday.
House Divided should be back next week. House Divided should be back next week.
Monday or Thursday?
High Five should be, I think, later in the week. I think they're going to do different days now. High Five should be back. Danny NASCAR should be back. Dream Team should be back. So we have a lot of Brothers in Arms.
Oh, they gotten a hold of you?
That's
good.
Cody, yeah. And then, so we got to still figure out some stuff with Power Surge. He's back to school. Forget how young he is over there at Power Surge. So we had to try to figure out some stuff with that and so on. So yeah, so we're getting into, and plus I like to start doing a lot more stuff around here. You know, how much stuff we talked about doing live streams about we haven't done yet. I'm still ready for the epic risk battle that needs to be streamed. We got a lot of stuff.
The Mario Kart, or I mean not Mario Kart, the go-kart races before it freezes over for the year.
There's another can of worms I completely forgot about. Kids should not be running those go-karts. If you're younger than 12, you should not be running those
Oh,
go-karts.
boy. Steve, that's part of the battle. Let me
part of
guess.
the
You got
battle.
beat.
It's
Let me
also-
guess. You got beat up on the go-kart track by a 12-year-old.
Actually, no. I parked in the thing, and the fucking kid behind me just comes barreling in and slams right in the back of my
Give
go-kart.
Steve
See
whiplash.
It fucking hurt.
You hate to fucking see it.
pissed
What
me right
course
off.
were you running?
Adventure Family Fun Center.
Where's that?
The one that's down the road from Fun Spot.
This is a classic Steve that he likes the other one.
Whatever, Steve.
It's got a cool arcade. The owners are very nice.
Why don't you just go to Fun Spot?
Fun Spot stinks.
But the track is superior, and he knows it.
Track is far
Yeah.
superior. It's far superior. The go-karts are far superior.
I have more
I don't
desire
know.
doing the laser tag and go-karts up at the...
Actually, laser tag wouldn't be bad either.
I wouldn't do that at Fun Spot either, because we'd want to do that and take that to the next level. There's so many laser tag spots.
Is there,
Or maybe not. Maybe I'm old and they all closed. But
now,
when I
is
was
there
younger,
any,
they were
like,
everywhere.
Is there any, like, I'm not talking fun. I'm talking, like, is there any, like, serious business laser tag places out there?
There was one that I went to back in the day that was like two stories, and it was probably like the size of the whole store, at least, if not more.
Where it's, like, they're pretty, like, high-tech.
And it was complete darkness in there.
Was it Outer Zone?
Maybe. It was
I would
probably
love
like 30,
to do a
45
big
minutes
laser
away.
tag. But see, the problem with the go-karts and the laser tags, we got to up our cameras. We got to get GoPros.
We are due for some GoPros. At least
You
one or
almost
two.
need, like, 8 GoPros. If you,
We also could just use shirts that have pockets. Phone in pocket.
Be able to go flying out.
yeah, I don't want to worry about work.
You have to
I'd
make a
rather
pouch.
get the nice, the GoPro hooked on,
Yeah.
and but then that's some serious editing you got to do.
It would look pretty funny if you could get the angle of like the FPS going.
That'd be pretty some. That'd be some. That's but we
You
got to
only need
invest.
two.
Well,
You could just switch it
you're
off.
gonna have a whole. You're gonna put together a whole video about laser tag.
No,
only
no,
watching
no.
2 people.
You'd have 2 people, 1 round wear it, then you switch off in between rounds, and then by the end of like 4 rounds, you have point of view from everybody.
I think I gotta try to find some cheap ones.
I wouldn't mind having extra.
I think what I gotta do is I gotta try to find some cheap GoPros on like.
That's an
Facebook
unreal amount of
Marketplace.
work for Steve,
People were
though.
trying to get rid of
I
them.
mean, it actually wouldn't be that bad. I could
You'd
just
have
pick
to-
and choose which ones I like. And
We would have to time them up though. You have to get all the videos and figure out if you're pulling this clip at like at 3:15. You gotta go around and get 3:15. You know what I mean? You gotta kind of like.
I guess it would be funny to be able to get everyone's perspective if something happened.
If we did a 4v4 battle, I'd like to have all 4 people on.
all we'd really have to do is hit record and then just someone clap and have a very loud noise that carries through all 4, and then I can splice it from there.
Yeah.
Kind of like those little
That's what
slates.
Boater used to do.
And there'll have to be a couple. Like in the video, there'll have to be a couple moments where it shows all eight things on. You know what I mean? Like part of the video, then we zoom into the one. Like, I think it'd be pretty sick. That type of stuff we gotta start doing.
I mean, if we're gonna go that far, we might as well go fucking airsoft.
I'm
So
not
people-
going there.
so people go,
I don't know how to do airsoft.
I could
go
already
airsoft.
picture it, me and Tom on Dan. Dan gets pissed.
I would probably
Whenever
rather do
my
paintball than
airsoft
airsoft.
again.
Airsoft's way more fun than paintball.
But it hurts a lot more.
You
Oh,
get
yeah.
some pretty cool guns. Not if you wear like a.
First off, when you do airsoft, you got some pretty seriously looking real guns over there.
All you gotta do is wear a hoodie and sweatpants, and it doesn't hurt that bad.
What?
If you wear a pretty thick hoodie and sweatpants, it just bounces off.
Her airsoft?
If you get hit on bare skin, it hurts like a fucking.
yeah, it Many years ago, one of my old friends and I, he had a bunch of airsoft guns, and we'd stand on each side of his yard just shoot each other. That's how we'd spend our afternoons.
You gotta wear like a hoodie, you gotta be all covered in.
Yeah.
Then you won't know who's who. That's no fun either.
Well, you can customize your outfit.
I'll be
I
able
like
to
the
do
You
laser
can
something.
get our little logos on our backs.
Actually, yeah. Turn them into little patches.
Some serious stuff we gotta do. But
I
I,
used
do
to
like
have
to
the-
start. We gotta start slow. I do like the go-kart one. We are gonna try it. And now that the
a
summer's
good
over,
start, yeah.
I think we can set aside. I think I can go meet with them and probably pick a good day. Now that summer's over with,
Yeah.
they're not busy. Where now it's like, hey, we're gonna close off the course for an hour and let them film this. But we're gonna have to get people like I'm gonna have to pull out the good old Shevlin family and get the tripods. We're gonna have to have the phone set up on the turns and they're coming around. They can film the cars going, and you'll have to take the videos and sync them together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
where it's just like you can go from this phone over to the next phone, back to this phone as you're watching the race. I like to get 1 or 2 GoPros for that.
So we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
So, yes, we got some stuff that hopefully we'll get planned out and get going. But all right, so we're done for tonight. We'll be back here next Thursday because Monday is Labor Day. Until then, adios.